You're watching the program Moving Forward, a production of the Bay and Grantstown Advancement Association. As we said earlier, we focus primarily on issues of importance to the Bay and Grantstown community. However, we would address topics of national or international importance, but primarily we're about moving forward our community and eventually the nation. We have as a very, very special guest this evening, a very, very special person. She is heading two major areas of our activities. One, the Bay and Grantstown chapter of Women Against Crime. She is the president, and we've discussed that in the first part of this program. And now we're into her other area of activity, which is the Department of Community Health, where she is the director of the Bay and Grantstown chapter. Just before the break, we were talking about counseling services. Could you elaborate on some of the services that are available? Okay, in the Bay and Grantstown community, we have a counseling center that's situated in Yoruba House. That's Augusta Street off Meadow Street, just like 2 doors down off Meadow Street. And we encourage persons to come in because we know that in our community we have a high drug abuse problem, we have alcohol abuse problem, we have all the social ills. So we're asking persons to come in, stop in. We can do just a quick assessment at first and then do the necessary referrals. We have access to all the referral centers, so we don't want people to feel like I'm on my own, there's nobody to help me, there's no one to talk to. We are there, we just need you to utilize us. You know, we don't feel that our community is coming in as they should, but we feel that in that regard, we have to reach out a bit more to them, encourage them to come in to get the necessary help that is needed. And the assistance programs include domestic situations, anything that creates stress, severe stress on people, even financial distress, people who are physically unwell, people perhaps who may be homeless or carrying any kind of real serious burden. We do not have the capacity to alleviate all of these problems, but what we do, as the director said, we refer you to the various areas. We've got a referral arrangement with Department of Social Services, the Crisis Center, Teen Challenge, and a number of other institutions that are already established and already capable of addressing these problems. So we invite our people, please come in and take advantage of this free counseling center. It does not cost you anything, and there are qualified people there to do that. Now we look after the whole man, not mentioning we have at the center every Saturday morning we have golf lessons. Oh yes. For youngsters who are interested. So we're not only about all the serious things, you know, we lighten it up. And we know that golf is an expensive lesson. You know, to learn golf is expensive, but we're offering it free. That's right. Because we believe that there are hidden talents and great abundance in our community. And we offer different activities and events to try to identify and to highlight those talents. And who knows, there may be another Tiger Woods residing right there in Baytown or Grantstown. So please come by the library every Saturday at 10 a.m. We'd be delighted. And Mr. Ian Corbell, who is wonderful. As a matter of fact, I think he was the manager of one of the teams that just recently returned from a tournament in the southern islands of the Caribbean. He knows his stuff. And so we invite you to come. But something else very exciting is about to happen. Tell us about it. Okay, we have planned a health fair for the Bay and Grantstown community. And it's scheduled for the 31st of October. That's that's 2 weeks, right? Yes. Okay, and we call it Mount Olive Park. It's the park right next to Mount Olive Baptist Church on the corner of Augusta and Meadow Street. And we're looking forward to having a large number of our residents and even non-residents taking advantage. We're looking at health screening, blood pressure, blood glucose, blood cholesterol. We're even trying to get our residents to donate some blood.
We know a lot of the blood is used for people in the Baintown community, so we're looking to replace some of that valuable necessity. And we're looking at face painting. We're making it fun also.
That's right.
We want you to be healthy, because we know with a healthy community, we'll have a healthy nation, and by extension, a healthy world. So, you know, we're looking forward. Come on out. We'll have physicians out there, nurses, and other medical persons who would be able to answer some of your questions and even make the necessary referrals for you.
And we also have a lot of prizes.
Right.
We have a lot of prizes, and you can bring the kids. We're going to have things for the kids to keep them occupied and keep them excited. We're going to have a couple of bouncing castles for the kids, so while the adults go about their more serious business of checking their health, the kids can enjoy themselves. It's going to be a wonderful time. That's Saturday the 31st. What are the hours?
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you got to be there on the corner of Meadow and Augusta Streets. We're going to really make an effort to address this. And so mothers, bring out the entire family. We know men are a little reluctant to come and see about their health, but women are more proactive. So we're saying to the women, drag him out. Don't let him say, I'll go next time. Or, no. Or I'm not sick, I don't have any pain. That's the time to come out and get checked out. So we are trying to do a whole lot of things, and the department has planned a number of other initiatives dealing with the health, community health, and that includes environmental health.
Right.
Environmental health. And we're not just talking about clean up, because clean up in and of itself is wonderful, but that has to be a part of something that is far greater and more fundamental. We must inculcate in people's minds the importance of the environment. And we are doing a lot of damage to our environment without really realizing it. So we're not just talking about environmental problems like garbage or dilapidated vehicles. We're talking the whole idea of environmental health, even our trees and how we encourage people to maintain good balance of nature. This is very wonderful, and we're excited, as perhaps you can see, because the health of a nation, as the adage goes, is the wealth of a nation. And we are starting with our own community. There are lots of other activities going on in our community, because that's what we want to do. We want to keep the action going in all of these areas. And we're looking for volunteers. Nurse Ferguson can use a lot of help. You need not be a trained nurse, just be willing to participate in the areas that you can. And so we are very excited. Just recently we had the 4th annual Bay and Grandstand Heroes Week. That was fantastic. It was just concluded on Saturday with the awards banquet, which, according to the patrons, was perhaps the best such event that they had experienced for many, many years. And so we are saying to our community, we are the heart and soul of the nation. There's no question about that. Bay and Grandstown is the oldest and the largest urban area in the country. We are the source of a lot of things, good and bad, because we are one of the older communities. We have within that community history that is unbelievable. Most of the historic churches in New Providence are located in Bay and Grandstown. Most of the athletes, the national athletes, have roots in Bay and Grandstown. Right. Most of the political giants, particularly of the past, and many who are in political power today, are connected with Bay and Grandstown. Most of the people, the cultural giants, are from Bay and Grandstown. And if it sounds as if we are boasting a little, it's because we are. We are boasting because there's so much to boast about. Most of the religious giants, as a matter of fact, one of our honorees last week was the Reverend Dr. H.W. Brown, while he was himself born in Eleuthera, but he spent a lot of his life living in Baintown and serving in Baintown at the historic Bethel Baptist Church, which he pastored for many years. And so we are proud of our heritage, and we want our people to be proud of the heritage that they have inherited. And so we say to them, let's get busy. Let's do some things. And Nurse Ferguson has already said, noticed a whole lot of folks, including some of her own family members. Right. I'm coming for you.
Right.
You want to send that message again?
Most definitely. Especially my sister Joanna.
That's what I wanted you to say.
The person who I will be leaning on, so she can make up her mind, but she'd be busy along with me.
She is dynamic. She is the principal of the Willard Patton Preschool. She's turned that school around.
Right.
That school is located on the hill at Augusta Street, just next to the park there. And if you go to that school today, you will see the handprint of somebody who is not only dynamic, but who gets things done. So you're saying that you're conscripting her right now?
Oh, most definitely.
Well, folks, we are excited because there is a lot of work to do. And that's what creates excitement. We can be working at this aggressively for perhaps the rest of our lives, and we still would have work to be done in Baingrandstown. And so we are appealing to those who wish to see an improvement in the community. You need not be from that community. Stop by. Contact anyone that you know who is connected with the association. Let's get things done. If you are unable to render your personal assistance, perhaps a donation, because all of these things we are talking about cost money. Cost money. And we need the support. When we have our fundraising activities, support the activities, because we need your support. And we believe that in the not too distant future, with the collaboration of all of us in all of these areas, we're going to see a major change in our community. The next big announcement will come from the agricultural sector in our community, because we are really determined to make a difference. Now, Nurse, we're about to wrap up, and we'd like for your final comments. Perhaps anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to. I know your husband is a tremendous supporter of you. He comes up with ideas for you, and so he's already on board.
Most definitely. My husband, Oliver Ferguson, and my granddaughter, Abranica Alvarez, who is my shadow. So they're the persons who I would like to just say good evening to, and all my sisters and brothers and the Baintown community.
Well, that's fine, and we are about to conclude this program, regrettably, but we want to thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Very much for the many years that you served this nation through the Ministry of Health. You visited a number of the islands, including my home, Auckland.
Yes.
You did a wonderful job down in Auckland.
Thank you.
And upon your retirement, you did not decide to sit back and just enjoy a peaceful retirement, which you deserve. But you are still working, perhaps even more now than when you were fully employed.
Yes.
And so we would like to thank you on behalf of the residents of Baingrandstown, and indeed the entire Bahamas, for the wonderful job you have done, you are doing, and we know that you will do in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Folks, you've been watching Moving Forward, a program that's produced by the Baingrandstown Advancement Association, and it is aired on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. here on JCN. We invite you to watch and come across with any suggestions that you may have. Would you like to be a guest on this program? No problems, call us. We'd be happy to accommodate you. And so until we meet again, thank you and good night.
Only love can save us.